Hi there, I'm Peter. You may know me as Youko. It's my birthday. I'm sitting here needing to finally talk about Persona, so let's get on my soapbox. So a few days ago at the Persona Super Live event that was very long and it was live streamed across the web, we finally saw the first gameplay trailer for Persona 5. And we had seen a teaser trailer a few months ago with the main character and everyone calling him Potter. We saw that the main theme color was red, as opposed to blue from Persona 3 and yellow from Persona 4. And we now finally see the gameplay. It is a great trailer. As a big Persona fan, this is everything I want Persona 5 to be. And I'm showing this trailer to people who have never played Persona before, and they're like, that's incredible. That's an amazing style for a trailer. What is that? I want to play it. But yes, it's been a few days since that trailer hit, and during that time I've kind of been collecting things that I've noticed or gathered across the internet about this trailer and kind of doing a deep dive into it. So I wanted to kind of share my findings, and maybe you'll find a couple things that you didn't notice either. So the trailer all starts with the concept of the Phantom Thief. The main character stealing something with a mask, and kind of almost tuxedo mask-ish in a way, but it all boils down to what the director and the developer and the team behind the game at P Studio, what they want the game to generally be about. They see society today as that the people living in it are being held down by something, that they lack the ability to break free from those shackles. And so that's what our main characters are going to be able to do, essentially, to fight back against this society that's being so restrictive. And they've even said on record before that they want the players at the end of the game to feel like they have the ability to go and make that change in their society, that they can make that difference for themselves. But this means we have different characters in our party than we're used to. Producer Katsura Hashino has said in an interview in Famitsu that these characters are going to be a little more ill-mannered than we're used to. That in past games we had clearly defined good characters that were going against a very established evil. But in this game, the characters that we play as are going to be the ones that are chased for doing something that they think is right. I think we have vigilantes afoot. And this is strengthened throughout the trailer. The text on black essentially in the beginning translates to, "What's waiting for you? Glory or ruin?" Ooh. So as the music begins from the amazing Shoji Meguro, we see Tokyo, we see that famous Shibuya crossing, and we also see Igor. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because the Japanese voice actor for Igor passed away a little while ago, so I wonder what they'll do with that. But he is matched now with a couple small twin assistants in the Velvet Room. I mean, no Margaret, no Elizabeth, no Theodore, so that's going to be interesting to see how that's all about. When we get to the gameplay, it looks great, and it's actually probably running on the PS3, as opposed to the PS4 version that was last mentioned at Tokyo Game Show. I mean, they've been working on this game for so long for PS3 that it's very likely that most of the work has been done with that, and I wonder what the PS4 version is actually going to be. I mean, is it going to be just an upscale version in terms of, resolution and maybe frame rate? We'll see. So in addition to our protagonist, we are introduced to the three other main characters that will flesh out that initial party of four. We have Ryuji Sakamoto, who kind of looks like Naruto, and I think that's fair. We have An Takamaki, who may be some people's next waifu. And we have Morgana the cat, who's a normal cat by day and a superhero cat by night. Hopefully she doesn't talk like Teddy, but we'll see. Something to note when we're introduced to Morgana, actually, is the inclusion of the 7 deadly sins in Latin. Yes, it goes by quickly, but it is there, and it makes you think there's two possibilities. One, maybe those are the deadly sins that our heroes are trying to fight against, or our anti-heroes rather. Or these are going to be flaws and sins that maybe 7 heroes total in our party are going to be ultimately defined by. Makes you think, why include that in the trailer? What's it going to be involved with? Something to ponder. Also, a new inclusion for the recent Persona games, at least, is a weapon and a gun slot. Yeah, we had the Evoker in Persona 3 that let you essentially summon your Persona, but not a gun as a weapon. I mean, that's almost more like Shin Megami Tensei territory, especially with the recent 4 on 3DS. But to bring that in Persona, it's almost like they're really emphasizing the Shin Megami Tensei Persona 5 aspect of it. So that'll be really interesting. At least from early gameplay shots, it looks like the protagonist has a knife and a pistol, Ryuji has pipes and a shotgun, Anne has a whip and an Uzi, and Morgana with a sword, scimitar, what have you, and a slingshot. How cute. Now let's talk about the dungeons. They're radically different. I mean, we see the auto jump platforming. We also see the cover system. I mean, that's totally not influenced by anything else that comes out of Japan. So it's really interesting that these are going to be very different in a way. I mean, just almost radically redesigned from what they were in Persona 3 and 4 with randomly generated hallways and rooms. And I hope they kind of keep that, but maybe add these new influences there. Anyway, just breathing new life in the dungeons, always a good thing for what was, for some people, a real sticking point in the gameplay in Persona. The menus are so cool. Oh my goodness, I want to just browse these all day. Can't wait to see them translated in English. But just the different colors, the animations of the characters going between the different pages, top notch. I mean, that's really one of the things that really stands out in this trailer. So as we see this shot of the main character in jail, which will probably be the Velvet Room actually, people are thinking that he almost looks like Vincent from Catherine. And yes, there's another shot that is very, very reminiscent of Catherine. I mean, Catherine was the last game that P Studio worked on before Persona 5 here, and it's the shot in the cafe, which will probably be the team hangout, almost like Junes in Persona 4, but the shot's very, very reminiscent of the bar in Catherine, and I don't think there's really necessarily any carryover ties. I mean, it's almost more like a nod to what they'd previously worked on, but this shot is very reminiscent to Catherine, but not taken from Catherine. I mean, they're not going to a bar. They may be vigilantes, but they're almost more planning a heist here in this cafe, in this little group hangout, so that's something to note as well. Maybe this escaped your eye though. In the battle system, if you slow down the footage and look at who the characters are attacking, they're characters that we know from Persona 3 and 4 as actual Persona. I mean, you have a Pyro Jack, you have 2 copies of Sandman in there. I mean, what's the deal with that? I mean, are shadows not going to play a role in this game? Are they really bringing back more from the Shin Megami Tensei games than we may have initially thought? It seems that way, and you know, battling demons, I'm okay with that. It kind of differentiates them from the, oh, it's now this weird shadow design. So that'll be really cool. And of course, you can't show battle footage without showing the all-out attack. I mean, that is so stylish and I just love it. Yeah. Now, the one thing that people are dissecting at the end is the shot with the protagonist on fire. I mean, the yellow eyes would suggest the presence of the other me in past games, or maybe a shadow version of the protagonist, but some people are maybe saying that it's maybe a way to evoke the persona, as opposed to, you know, the gun to the head in Persona 3, the crushing of the tarot card in Persona 4. Maybe now the protagonist is being set on fire in some way to have the persona become like an armor for them. I mean, that's a possibility, but I almost wonder if the game includes something about the other me, and like that was the main theme in Persona 4, if they bring that at all with, you know, the yellow eyes being the dead giveaway, I wonder if this is almost like the other version of the protagonist, and very early in the game that he has to confront this. So we're not entirely sure. There's a lot of speculation going afoot, but that's something to keep an eye on. So all in all, an awesome trailer. Really puts that game to the top of my list that I'm most anticipated for this year. You gotta hope that Atlas USA is working in tandem with their cohorts over in Japan to really deliver this game by 2015. Really, that's the hope, but you know, with the way games have been delayed today and, you know, other main releases, I gotta not get my hopes up too high. I'm really looking forward to this game though. So that'll do it for my soapbox. Check out the latest podcast for Show Me Your News, which covered the recent gaming news over at showmeyournews.com/podcast. You can find me on Twitter at SMYNYouko, and of course, follow all that we do at Show Me Your News on Twitter at Show Me Your News. With that, I'm Youko, and I have a birthday to celebrate, but still, I implore you to show me your news.